Mame fana say ma PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo
Ebusafo aha PENDREAM TV na se na munyina monim no yanya ba han de na yaba na Kevin Taylor video ba ko asaba be kayensa e wa hase na video ni mu no Kevin Taylor reacted vividly and also reacted as a patriotic citizen of the nation and as Ghanaian no wabechire na adwen afa Nana Addo Akuffo Addo the sitting president of the Republic of Ghana no nipa miensa EC members board members miensa na Nana Addo Akuffo Addo be pom ho ntoma esan say according to omono EC board members miensa a retire intino ewo mandatory no anase ewo mramu no president no wo ho kwan say obeyi nipa miensa asa replace omo retire no na saade no Kevin Taylor ababe reacted to it na mpese utie emu nsem no kakra
na Addo Akuffo Addo anase ye enra wa sai nipa miensa abeka east no ho ade tie de say nipa miensa bi awo east no retire enti I was say constitutional your right to make sure say nipa miensa odom kwakwo hye bibia tokura beda enti Nana Addo Akuffo Addo afa nipa miensa de o makwo hye east ho. Now the Nana Addo Akuffo Addo aye no on a normal day it is right for president to be asked obeyesa. Now there's something we need to understand when it comes to a democracy we are under Akuffo Addo any MPP no our democracy is under threat. Now the reason why I say that democracy is under threat is say consistently Nana Addo Akuffo Addo any MPP any Bawumia any Alan Cash any MPP aban we no they have decided to say democracy there yakia to say united democracy but so oba insider and as oba democracy ni more Ghana there's one political party or just or admit say there's democracy but they don't practice democracy. And a party that does not practice democracy, no, a typical example, a MPP. Now,
so tell you mune embrace ya na one near Kevin Taylor no Kevin Taylor wet maka say odika so okasa same way because at the end of the day Nana Addo Akuffo Addo ni MPP entire MPP in governance we no Oma prove beyond reasonable that in terms of the background mayenji omundi sa because EC4 members mean some way omudi abano. It is obvious say those people are MPP people omudi akoshe EC honum send yebeya ombet media ede are running the upcoming election no. Now Bibi Kakra has say President Nana Addo Akuffo Addo on Monday swore in 3 new members of the Electoral Commission EC governing board. They include Reverend Ekwe Salima, Ahmed Tijani, and Dr. Peter Apiahine. These are the people. Now, the appointment is in line with Article 43, 1 and 2 of the 1992 Constitution, which states that there shall be an electoral commission which shall consist of a chairman, 2 deputy chairmen, and 4 other members. The members of the commission shall be appointed by the president or now by president under Article 70 of the Constitution. At a brief ceremony at the Jubilee House, the president administered the oaths of office, allegiance, and secrecy of all 3 persons. Now, young Connie go take Kevin Taylor Kakrane and some brevium.
Consistently, no, Nana Addo Akuffo Addo actually. All the people around him, the vice president Bawumia, Alan Kudu Tremantin, Exp0sed secretary Japan, any of them. What is happening is that consistently for 6 years, they have shown that every decision Akuffo Addo takes or had taken, they are in support of it. And nobody can sit anywhere else and say The actions of Akuffo Addo now, Anasa Bawumia, Ana Alankash, Ana Kennedy Japon, Ana Oseakuto, Ana the MPP as a political party, some people in the MPP do not support. They all support Akuffo Addo's actions. Now, a quiet team, the EC, a institution here, we have revered the institution for a very long time. Since that Afarijan Ebedi EC and before him, there were some group and yesterday Afarijan. Ebedi EC Eba Shalato says so, Abedu AJ Mensanso. We have seen how our electoral system under Akuffo Addo how it has deteriorated. And when I say it has deteriorated, just say na yena ewo eye arishemu and I say sebio na yewo eye confidence. At a point, we all went to court. The NPP, the NDC all went to court. At a point, we all went to court again. Now, so we share the circumstances that led these political parties to court, 2012 and 2020. You could see clearly, say, the rate at which the executive, Akuffo Addo di nimuno, Bawumia ekamu, Alankash kamu, MPP party lead you could see clearly said they have taken over the Electoral Commission. Now, this is the same political party which is MPPR in opposition. They were forcing for all Ghanaians to be included in our electoral system. They were preaching that we should make sure say our electoral process is flexible enough for every right-thinking Ghanaian who is of 18 years, and above with sound mind, will be given the opportunity, as the Constitution has stated, to vote to elect their leader. So sometimes you ask yourself, are these the same people who on the other side or the other time when they were on the sidelines were preaching that we need inclusiveness? We need to make sure our electoral register, our electoral process, it basically is open so wider. Obia our Ghana Biaro will take part in our electoral process.
And Busiafo, I hope say Kevin Taylor and Cheche Muna Odibano, I hope we are all following, because it is obvious say Akuffo Nanado Danko Akuffo Addo ne team ni na ye Bawumia ni Alankash mu na sefo no, they are not to be trusted. Woma ye niam bebre aye nyina ye hu anase niam ensesudi aye be gina so aka say these people, they are not to be trusted. Now, having come into office 21 months before the 2022 general elections, and at the time when Ghana was seeking to entrench her credentials as a beacon of democracy in Africa, he told them it is the quality of your work that will reassure the Ghanaian people that the democratic system of governance and also of government that they have chosen for their governance will be properly nurtured by an electoral system that allows their voices to be plainly and loudly heard. As you begin work, you will find no honeymoon period. Neither will you be afforded the chance to settle into your new responsibilities. I have nevertheless confidence in you and in your abilities to surmount the hurdles before you, the president stated. He, however, reminded them that now more than ever, every decision you take will be scrutinized to the letter. That, however, should not scare you, and indeed, let no one try to cow you into submission. Rather, he said, let this expectation of the Ghanaian people spur you onto great heights, and above all, work so that the will of the Ghanaians, or the will of the Ghanaian people is upheld. The president added as well. Now you take Kevin Taylor kakrabium ni ensambra na assurance a your president no edima 3 board members we no obi be kan asem camouflage kasa because public ni ntino wa sheda edi kata niama so but inwardly no yenim what they want to do yenim intentions are omo for the general elections in 2024 yenim ni omo pese onu as government no and as president no ni opese oni ni crofo no omo ye but then it is all good danyamiase say we have trusted people like the NDC members are just say team omoba no they are people I will trust them say no matter what being the case no they will fight for Ghanaians they will make sure say ombeji Ghana for afi tarrant we nsem ombeye sure say ombeji Ghana for afi ekwasun we mu na yehu atoye come 2024 yebe to aba no ayi John Dramani Mahama any ni team any the NDC se ombedi omani so na nyaminya yadum na ye economy na abubu ye economy na wanya se kwata abani wanya kwata no ye economy na se wanya leprosy no ye economy na abubu ni nan na abubu ontimi nanti biom no obetimi agina ni nan so ebiom na akoso na tie Kavintela kakra
parliament and telling parliament that Ghanaians are supposed to use only Ghana card. We cannot use birth certificate. We cannot use passport. We cannot use his own voter ID that he was preaching about. We cannot use driver's license. None of these things. Only Ghana card to vote in 2024. This is the same man who is turning around to say the NDC that is fighting for the inclusion of every single voting age person in Ghana to vote. You know, this man is telling the NDC that what the NDC is dangerous to our democracy. The inconsistency in these guys, their statements, the inconsistencies have become so consistent to the point of time of them. Their inconsistency, it has become so consistent to the point that now let's come back home and deal with the issues. You heard Boss Asari. He was saying that it is important, it is imperative for every Ghanaian to vote. In 2012, after election 2012, what happened? After election 2012, Nana Addo Akuffo Addo led the NPP to what? To the Supreme Court. What was he contesting? He was contesting the figures. He was saying that the figures he got, it was manipulated. It had been manipulated. They were not right. That is why he did not win the elections. So Mahmoud Bawumia was in the Supreme Court bringing pink sheets, and that this number that was recorded wasn't recorded right. So Akuffo Addo was basing his argument on what? On numbers. Akuffo Addo was basing his argument in the Supreme Court in 2012 on what? On numbers. Why? Because he believes that if you don't get the right numbers, you cannot win. That is why the MPP keeps saying, if you don't have your pink sheet is not human being. Pink sheet, they are writings on the paper, right? Akuffo Addo went to court to base his argument on what? On numbers. Now listen. Akuffo Addo. Come out. I need something. Where did he go? Guys, I lost something. Guys, Akuffo Addo said, election outcome is about those who cast the vote, not those who count or collate the results. President Akuffo Addo says, as he is accused of packing the Electoral Commission with known MPP faces after swearing in 3 new members of the commission. Nana Akuffo Addo, after swearing in 3 people into the EC PENDREAM, the response to the people who are saying, say, or the party for Akogu EC, the response to Omonile say, election outcome is about those who cast their votes, or those who cast the votes. not those who count or collate the results. The Akuffo Addo can say, more say, and them pack easy with MPP for. MPP for them, they are going to easy some my winning elections. No, made me a cycle count. Also, what you say, election, no, and yet about almost to Abado, and yet almost where they, and yet almost kind Abano. So at this point, no, Nana Dankwa. I say the outcome is about those who cast the vote. Akuffo Addo said, election na yet to know. Outcome no oma a year results by ye oma to abano na enye oma wede omo kai abano. I say more say and we packing the go for easy. We packing the go for what is party for so go easy. And me ensa go ka no. The opposite catch Ghana for say election outcome is about who cast a year or say election results no a year about nipa na oto abano na enye nipa na okan abano. The Akuffo Addo party nyina say in 2012 no occur a court no. The reason why he went to court no, it wasn't about it wasn't about Abana and Komfort to now it was about the EC. Now today he's saying say election winning no, it's not about EC no we call no and your mom beto abano. It is all beto abano so to the function corner say EC no manipulating numbers now. He sees it say it's right. I'll say it's about the people who vote. So what Akuffo Addo can do is say he can suppress a particular place. And when he suppresses a particular place and the numbers that comes to favors him, he sees it as a legitimate election. Because it's all about the people who vote. It is not about the person who is counting or collating. It is or making sure say or gerrymandering. And also making sure say voter registration. What you can if you want at the Savannah near the other, that's the election day, no ballot box, a bianco voter region, ne bianco the opponent stronghold, that's a 2 very real. Do na ebebano and rojitu. Ne enya results na east bebano, but the results na east bebano, it will depend on the number of people who vote. Because when the number of people who vote, say east no number of people who vote, the east cannot declare. And when the numbers of people who vote they are suppressed, the EC will declare an election in the favor of you, the person who suppressed the numbers. So basically, go for the catcher will say, oh no, EC no backing no go from war. Now EC company is not important to him. What is important to him say, nipa don't do a better the party no. It is a nipa don't do the party no. Now to me, a maneuver now suppress the results of his opponent. He is fine because the EC's job is to declare for him. What he can do is he can kill people at Techiman South to suppress the numbers there. He can go to Ayawaso West Wagon. He can kill, suppress the numbers there, and all that the EC has to do is to make sure that the election is called in his favor or in the favor of the NPP. What Akuffo Addo is telling you right now, and I said he will suppress election 2024. There are places that he's going to make sure the numbers that are supposed to come from there or ban limits. Send the EC will not have any option than to call the elections for him. So technically, our democracy is under threat. It is under threat because you have a president who believes that all that you need to do is to make sure that the numbers now open on second. The EC, whether they like it or not, they will have to give it to you. So whether it is killing, whether it is suppressing your stronghold, whether it is making sure the process is not followed, all that he cares about is that EC for Bugoro, they just have to call the elections for him.
All the EC need to do is to what after say president, as suppressive areas na Kevin Taylor Abu Bosu ni na no suppressive we are na EC na jumani say obe call elections for his party. But then ube bisa won say akukudro ben eden nyina so na MPP for gyina so keka say ombe break it no background and I say starting point ebi nie 2024 is just around the corner but say na be ka kire no ya danyame ase say ya nya nkrofo bi ti say ase edu nketie mu a omo biebie omo leadership to kru bia mu a bibia ntimi empom ho na on behalf of nkrofo miensa na president ayi omo say omo nkoka EC board members on their part Dr. Peter Apiahene on behalf of his two other colleagues, express gratitude to the president for their appointment and to the Council of State for supporting their nominations. We are gratefully humbled, honored, motivated, and we finally see this appointment as a sense of duty. We also accept this appointment in the symbolism of a fresh journey ahead of us to meet the high expectation of the various stakeholders, especially the over 31 million Ghanaians. In a recognition of the massive responsibility and tax that comes with it, he gave the assurance that we want to state that we are poised, prepared to deliver and to contribute to the development of our democracy, especially in this digital era. The Electoral Commission is one of the governance institutions provided under the 1992 Constitution. It was established by the Electoral Commission Act 451 of the 1992 Constitution and set up purposely to manage the conduct of all public elections and referenda and handle all matters directly related to the conduct of elections in the country. The EC is currently chaired by Mrs. Jane Mensah, with Dr. Bosman Asari, Eric Asari, Dr. Bosman, Eric Asari, and Samuel Tete serving as her deputies responsible for corporate affairs and operations respectively. Now that's why PENDREAM TV send yakano Ghana for munyamu biemeni na 2024 elections. It's not even the duty of only the NDC say ombejino munansu ye, but it is the duty of me and you say nyebejina nansu, because tyrant we don't need them again. It is obvious say Ghana na ajina munansu say we don't need these people again. They should go away. Thank you.
Mama, I say PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV, dear, yopo.